Hello, it's Melinda from Alexis and Melinda's Art Space. Just coming back to finish off some more of these tags. I've decided, sorry, just adjusting the camera so I can see. I've decided to put these all up in parts. So the last part you saw, I decorated, or I finished decorating these greeny type ones. And now I've got the browny black ones to go and the purple ones to go. So we might do the browny black ones. And you'll have to excuse my brace on my wrist. I have aggravated some arthritis in my wrist. And I did it crafting. Crafting is dangerous. Crafting causes injuries. I actually did it making these silly looking tags. I was holding a stencil down and pushing down and inking with my other hand and heard a pop and a sharp pain. And yeah, well, my arthritis is now just a little sore. So I put my brace on to hopefully settle it down. It's been several days. It's been about, I don't know, 5 or 6 days since I've done the injury. I've been wearing the brace off and on. So we'll see if I can craft with it. It basically stops me from bending my wrist, which bending my wrist at the moment is not real helpful. Okay, they're the greyish ones, so let's work on these 3 brown ones before. So I did film a Happy Mail video the day after I did my wrist, and it has got a little better since then. It's still quite sore. But if you haven't watched that video, I'll give you a quick background. I was 19 and very silly. And as you do when you're 19, you should know better, but you don't. Very silly on a 4-wheel farm motorbike and decided to crash into a rice bank of earth. And fractured my scaphoid bone, plus also did a lot of ligament damage inside my wrist. Ligament damage wasn't picked up, because the doctors are hopeless, for about 3 weeks. And I actually had a bone floating around in my wrist, not attached to anything anymore. So when I did this, when I did sort of this and lifted my arm up, even when it was in plaster, I told the doctors I felt something move in my wrist, and they'd look at me and go, "You're stupid, you're an idiot. Like, nothing can feel like it moves in your wrist." Little did they know, and little did I know, it was a blooming bone moving around, crashing into everything and further upsetting the bones. So eventually got on to a doctor with half a brain, as my daughter lovely describes them sometimes. And he did another set of x-rays and different views, and he goes, "Yeah, you've got a bone that's not attached to anything anymore." I said, "Yeah, I could have told you that 3 weeks ago." So we had surgery on it when I was 19. I'm now quite a bit older than that, but should have known better and not been that silly when I was 19. So now the resulting end of that is now I have arthritis in my wrist, and it doesn't bend much anyway. And I wanted it what we call fused quite a few years ago. When I upset it like this, and this is a bad upset, it takes quite a while to settle down again. When I did it last time, I think I was in my mid-20s, and I upset it quite badly. It took months and months to settle. I actually also refractured it and did it. And I asked them to fuse the joint because it was just, like, the pain's just stupid and putting up with it. And it's not as if my wrist moves much anyway. I lost a lot of movement in it. So it doesn't have a full range of movement anyway. And I got told I was too young. So I'm now middle-aged. So if this doesn't settle in a couple of weeks, I might go back to a different surgeon and ask them if they can fuse my wrist. Basically, it just means, so you can't, they fuse this bone here. All those little bones in here with a metal rod inside your wrist, and it just means your wrist can't do this anymore. Now my left wrist doesn't do that much of it anyway. I have probably a quarter of the range of movement, and it basically would just mean I'd be wearing this permanently on the inside of my wrist, which would mean I wouldn't upset it as much. So I think if we as patients ask for things for the doctors to do, and it's like going to benefit us, and we know what I know what the outcome's going to be. I'm not going to be able to bend my wrist. Whoopee-hoo, I can't bend it much at the moment. But it would cut down the incidences of me annoyingly upsetting it every so often. Isn't that sort of my choice as a person to have it done? Not as if I'm asking them to chop my bloody wrist off. Just fuse it so it doesn't hurt anymore. But yeah, doctors don't seem to do things. I think I whinged about doctors when I was doing the green ones of these. That's all I seem to do is run around doctors lately. That's like my knees. I've got bad knees and had bad knees since I was a teenager, and upset it one of them very badly while on holiday in Thailand 9 years ago, and asked for them to fix it, and they basically said you need a knee replacement and you're too young, 20 years too young. Go home and put up with it. So I just got a bad body. I don't know where I was when I got given a body, but obviously I stood in the line that, well, my wrist is self-inflicted, but my knees aren't. My knees are just body inflicted. Basically my kneecaps are the wrong size for my bones, and they've ground all the cartilage out, and now I've got to be so careful. I can't knee on the floor. I've got to be careful. I can't like squat down on my knees, anything with bending my knees. I'm fine walking until I upset it. But anything that involves like squatting down or bending the knee joint, if I don't do it in a correct way, upsets my knee joints and like my wrist, and it just gets set off for a while. But apparently I'm too young to have them replaced. I don't know. I'm either too young or too old. Like, seriously, can I not be the right age to have something done? So I'm fighting with Miss Alexis at the moment. Oh, you're too young for this service. Oh, you're too old for this service. Oh, you're not sick enough for this service. Oh, you're too sick for our service. You've got too many things going on. Oh, it's just, I am over our health system. I'll stop whinging about our health system, I promise. Can I stop whinging about our health system? We have a pretty good one in Australia. It's just, I just must find doctors that aren't very good lately. So just adding bits of pattern paper to these with some double-sided tape, and I'll add some embellishments on the top. I don't know what I'm going to use these for down the track. I just started making some of these. I think I've mentioned this before if you have watched all of my videos. I know they are quite long, they're 45 minutes long, so I don't expect all my subscribers to sit down and watch every one of them. I will do a condensed flick through or a show and tell after I've made them all, so you either have the option of watching all the videos, which I think I'm going to string over a few weeks, one a week or something. We're up to 1, 2, 3, I think I've got 4 videos so far. Yeah, so I'll do a show and tell type video at the end, showing you all the tags I've done in case you don't want to sit through and listen to me waffle about doctors and injuring myself. I must be the most accident prone person. No, I just take stupid risks. It's so funny because, oh, it's not really funny, but when I injured my right wrist again, Alexis goes, my left wrist, sorry, it is my left wrist. She goes, don't you have problems with your left elbow? I fractured my left elbow 2 years ago, and the doctors didn't pick it up, didn't show on the first x-ray. And they didn't pick it up for a while until they did a bone scan when I went back and said to them, look, I've done something, it damn well hurts still. And now it's just stuffed because I broke it and kept using it for 2 months. And as you do, when doctors say, go away, there's nothing wrong with you, you sort of have to believe them. So I fractured the ball joint. So you know how your bone is straight and then it has like a ball at the end? Yeah, I fractured the ball joint. Do you want to know how I did it? Yeah, you're all wondering what stupid thing did you do then? Well, that was self-inflicted as well because, no, it was actually Alexis's fault. If she watches this video, she'll deny all knowledge of it. We're in Melbourne hunting Pokemon. Yes, I know, Alexis and I play Pokemon. So I was coming out of the toilets and Alexis yells, there's a good Pokemon outside, Mum. So I rushed to get outside because I've just been into the ladies' bathroom. And, oh, I wonder if I do that. That would be cool, but I'm going to split the butterfly and move him out a bit. That would be cool. So as I'm rushing, I'm putting a backpack that I was carrying our lunch and all our other guff in it onto my shoulder, brought my elbow round like this and smacked the tip of my elbow into a concrete wall. on the corner of a wall. And of course I didn't tap it lightly. No. As you can imagine, a person rushing, a person moving their arm around to put it into a backpack. Like, I had the backpack on one shoulder and I was moving my arm around to put the other strap on. You can imagine that. And yeah, well, it wasn't a slight little tap. It was a hell of a crunch. And I knew once I'd done it, I'd probably done some damage to it because, God, it hurt like hell. But we continued Pokemon hunting and I went to the doctor a few days later and I thought I'd said to him, I think I've done something to my elbow. But the first x-ray didn't show anything, so he says, oh, it's probably just bruised. And so I put up with it with about 6 weeks because I was just busy and putting up with it. And then eventually got a bone scan done. Yes, you have fractured your ball joint of your elbow. Then I got referred to a surgeon because I was still in pain. Like, this was now 3 months later after the injury. And then the surgeon goes, well, it's now healed incorrectly. That type of break we can't do much about. Unfortunately, it's going to be stuffed forever. So that was not the news I was looking for from that surgeon. So basically I have persistent, or not persistent, but on and off pain in my elbow when I hurt it the wrong way. So that's now my left wrist and my left elbow. And 12 months ago I've done something to my left foot, which if I do too much walking aggravates, and they couldn't tell me what I'd done to my left foot when I first went into the doctor and said I've done something to my foot. So my left side of my body just has it in for me, I think. Maybe it's jealous of... I'm trying to find something to put up there. There's a lot of space, and or maybe I like the butterfly. Maybe I want the heart and the butterfly. Because I like things to overlap. They look better when they're over. Oh, now it's... I don't know whether I like the heart there. I'm procrastinating too much. Yes, so my left side of my body doesn't like me for some reason, because I seem to always get injured on my left side of my body. But I don't have much faith in doctors anymore. You sort of know when you've done something to your body. You sort of, I've broken bones before, I've broken wrists before, and I've broken, wrists before, and now an elbow. You sort of tend to know what a broken bone feels like. I don't know whether I like the heart there, but it needs something. I don't like the heart, but it needs something. Maybe it needs some washi tape. If all else fails, let's stick some washi on it. Because I feel it just needs something on the tip of there, but not the colour. Oh, maybe it needs... It's got another black on it. Okay, now you're seeing the procrastination in process. That has... This is the only brownie one I've got. I sit here and procrastinate like ages for things like this. Yeah, I think. This one, I think if everyone had their own, it's actually Minecraft tape from a kit Alexis got like years ago. You put together... like Minecraft cardboard people, and it came with a little roll of washi, and she didn't use it all, so she gave it to me. I think I like that better now. I think it just, that I didn't like the top. That I like better. Okay, let's stick that before I procrastinate some more. And now I've made a big mess of these die cuts. I really need little bowls to put these in as I'm flicking through them, or a little container so they don't get out of the way. These are all the die cuts that I photocopied and printed off, and I sat there and fussy cut them all out the other day to use them. I probably won't use them all on these embellishments, but I will. Oh, come on, end of the tape. Where are you? Yeah, I probably won't use them all on the embellishments, but I will send some out in Happy Mail and stuff like that as well. I love the die cuts, just the original ones were too big. I did print some original size and also half size some. I much prefer the half size ones. This is quite awkward trying to do this when your wrist doesn't bend. But I really want to get this done tonight. I really want to get these off my desk. I've probably got 2 more sessions to sit down and finish. Depends how long I waffle tonight, whether I get the rest of them done. So I've got the TV going on mute, because usually I watch TV when I craft. But I can't have it on sound when I'm talking to you guys. There we go. That one's pretty. Okay, now this one I want to somehow cut the butterfly in half and stick it. Maybe Maybe I'll stick that under there. Let's chop the butterfly in half. Chop! And I wanted to see if it would work. I think I might chop his antlers off, or his antennae, because they are looking funny. Worst thing about was when I do my wrist is I find that just you go and do something simple, and do I like that, or do I want to stick that on something like this? You go to do something simple that you don't think will hurt, and then it's like, ow, I didn't think I did something so bad. No, I think I prefer it on this one. Because the bottom of this is cut off, because sometimes when I put stuff on my scanner, the scanner bed's slightly bigger than like the A4 sheet, so it cuts slightly things off. I'm going to make that into a garden one. Do I like that? Or do I run it the other way? Do I run it? But then my words go the wrong way. No, let's just stick and plonk, Melinda. Stick it down. I could sit here and procrastinate all night. I'm a bit like that. I'm a bit terrible. I've just got to watch when I've got my saw hand, what hand I put pressure on. If I put pressure on my thumb, it doesn't like it. It's mainly my thumb that's sore. My other fingers seem alright. It's more if I put pressure on my thumb at the moment, it doesn't like it. And it doesn't like it if I bend my wrist. Let me know down below, what's the worst crafting injury you've had? Or what's the worst crafting injury you've done? Or what's the worst injury you've re-injured crafting? Like I've re-injured my arthritis crafting, so I'd call that a crafting injury. Let me know down below. The worst I've done is probably re-injured my wrist. I suppose kicking something wouldn't count in my craft room that's not correctly where it's supposed to be. I often move things in my craft room and then forget where they are, walk in the dark, and then kick the hell out of something. So I've done that as well. I've burnt my fingers, I've cut my finger, I've probably been there, done that, done everything you can probably do with a crafting injury. Now this tape will probably be hanging off. Trying to get them level. At the moment the butterfly's not level. Probably need some little word stickers on these. I might go and find some little word stickers after I'm done. Now it needs something at the top. Does it need some more washi? Oh, I could put this one on. Need some lace washi at the top. This washi, I don't know where it's from. It's a small roll. It's probably a reject shop one actually. A lot of the washis I can probably tell you where they're from, but this particular one, usually by the size of it and like the length of how much is on it, I can tell you where it's from. And I've got a good memory like that. I can probably tell you where all my art supplies have come from. Even really old ones. For example, that one's Kmart. That one's Kmart. That could be Reject Shop. That one's Minecraft. That one coming with Halloween tape from AliExpress. That's Kmart, that black one. These ones are Reject Shop. This is Target, really, really old Target. That's actually a sticker on the back of it. Thought I might use some of that as well. Oh, I like that. Need something down here though. Need a little... What goes with a butterfly in time? Don't really want another clock. Just need something down here. This pile is just a whole pile of cutouts, but a lot of them are not in the brown tones. I could put a little typewriter. No. don't think there's going to be... Oh, what's that one? That's probably going to be... Oh, elbow nearly knocked something. Story. That's probably a bit big. Maybe I'll just put the S there. Or just the word story. So these were just cut out of a 6x6 inch paper pad. I find things that are work, but then they're the wrong size. Well, they don't work. Okay, go back to die cuts. What die cuts have I got that might go there? Crown? No. I was not going to procrastinate in these. I was just going to stick the things down. I procrastinate too much. I'll let her know. Birdcage, no. Or maybe that crown because it's... I like that crown better. It's in the same tonings as that. The other crown was a bit white. Stick the crown down. There we go. I admire all these people that can just pick up stuff and put them into clusters and do them very well. And they look amazing. And I look at mine and go, they look too... I don't know. Too... sometimes structured to, and I'm probably off screen, I apologise. Too structured to, I don't know, symmetrical maybe? I don't know. Too wrong probably. Oh, now I've got tape where I don't want tape. That's right, I'll fix that. I'll put a little bit of scrap paper on the back. A bit of tape. Don't know what I'm going to do with the back of these cards, whether I'm just going to leave them. A lot of them are blank, a lot of them have writing on them, so I'm happy with that one. That one looks, yeah, happy with it. I don't know. Okay, let's do this one. I want to use the watering can, or maybe I can use a bird on it, or a butterfly. Oh, they're all too big because it's garden. I like the watering can. Maybe I can stick the bird behind. Because his bottom of his tail's cut off because... Oh, actually, I don't mind him. Okay, let's put some washi on here just to add a bit more. Let's do this one again. To add a little bit more, another layer. Excuse me, we'll add our bird on first. Use that bit. Hard to talk and craft. These videos will be going up after Easter, but I'm filming them before Easter, so it's a bit interesting. So I hope everyone had a happy Easter. We're not planning on a big Easter. I did buy some fish, some oven fish for Good Friday. I learnt a couple of years ago, don't go near the fish and chip shop on Good Friday, because, yeah, well, we did that one year and waited like an hour. Wasn't the fish and chip shop's fault. They were doing the best they could, but yeah, everyone went for fish and chips on Good Friday, which is something I will never do again. So I bought some oven fish. I'll just cook up some fish and chips, or some fish and veggies maybe. Tradition from when we were kids, we just don't eat meat. We're not really that religious, or not really that religious in my adult life, but it's one thing I like to do is not eat fish on a Good Friday. There's a lot of activities downtown and a lot of things to do in Bendigo for Easter, but I don't know, Alexis and I'll have a pretty quiet Easter. There's a big book sale. I'm tempted to go, but I also don't need any more books. Should I go? Well, this will be up all the time, and yeah, I'm probably going to get up in the morning and go. I've got a few child-free hours, so I might have a look, and then I'll have to take Alexis back at some stage. Does that need anything else? No, I think that one's good to go. Now we'll work on these four, which are grey tonings. These ones I might be able to use the black and white. I did a set of black and white embellishments by accident because I hit the wrong button on my printer. Because I'm a goose. So these ones actually might look nice with the black and white embellishments. I didn't know whether I'd be able to use them. Let's see, no, that's a colour one. Black and white butterfly. think my printer changes its buttons of where its buttons are, because usually I remember where they are and memorise where they are, and then I'm sure I'll press print in colour and it decided to print in black and white. I'm sure it did. I'll blame it anyway. Not my fault. Huh. Maybe I'll do that one because that's a different butterfly. I think I only had the one sheet in black and white. They look quite nice in black and white actually. But I thought with the grey behind it might be a good opportunity to use them up. See if there's any others in black and white. Oh, there's a heart. I might incorporate that one as well. I know the heart and the butterfly look funny together. Okay, now see if we can use some of this. That might look good on there because it's got a bit of pink down the bottom. If I put a bit of colour behind, that might look really nice. Maybe I can put some yellow behind this one. Maybe not yellow. Again, this is where I procrastinate too much. Just pick up something and stick it on, Melinda. Green? Could I put green? Ah, maybe I could turn this one into like a journaling splot. Journaling splot. Because that one's a bit big. That one takes up most of the tag. Or maybe this one. Or the green really doesn't go with the green. Maybe I'll swap this one over to this one. Let's see, I could do that and then have the butterfly and that will like fill up the... Okay. That fills up the gap on that one. I need something for this one. Maybe I'll do washi on this one. This one, maybe we do... I wonder what this washi would look like on it. This one's more like a paper tape than like a true washi tape. It's more paper. Here, come from the reject shop. I know I tend to buy them because I like the designs. I don't really care. As long as they're not super shiny. I do have some kids shiny ones I've bought. Well, this tag obviously looks like I got hungry. The machine decided to eat that bit. But that's okay. Added to the distressed look of it. Actually, I like that with the pop of colour behind it. That looks nice. I could possibly go and give the flowers some colour with some pencils or something if I really was inclined. Actually, I like that. Actually, no, I think I'll do that. Maybe. Does this one need some washi on it? This one can probably go with some of this. I was sort of trying to choose washies that had a bit of green in it, had some neutral ones as well. Oh, come on, end of washi tape. This is what I have trouble with crafting. I've got no strength. Ow! Well, that was a bit of a fail. I've got no strength in my left wrist at the moment. And I think this roll of washi is dying. Because it doesn't want to. Come on, washi, be nice to me. The opposite of what you're doing. Or maybe I just have to peel off a couple of layers because I think a couple of layers are being not nice. Okay, I think I've peeled it back to being if I can rescue any of this. I'll stick that on my tripod to go in my art journal. We'll start here again. So one thing I found with washi tape is I have bought, and washi tape probably come into fashion, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but eight or so years it's sort of been out. I started doing craft shows when Alexis was 1, so that was about 9 years ago. And it seemed to be just hitting then because I used to buy some of it and sell it. on our stand and kept quite a few rolls. When a new shipment come in, Alexis would help me sort it, because we'd just get a sorted lots, and she would help me sort it into colours to list on the website and stuff. When she was young, it was good. She's always good at helping me in the business. She was much better when she was younger. Now she's getting a bit older. She's a bit more, do I have to, Mum? It's like, no, you don't have to, Alexis, but do you want to eat this week? No. I don't usually say that to her, but no, she understands that we make money out of the business. But yeah, she was a lot more fun when she would help without asking for money or asking for stuff when she was younger. But she would sort all the rolls of washi tape, and then she'd go, Mum, do we have this one? I'd be like, no. Well, we need that colour, we don't have that design. And it's like, oh, okay. So we end up with several rolls in our stash, as you do. And I'm finding some of it is either drying out or, like that one, just sticking on each other. So I suppose a product really, a sticky tape isn't really meant to last 8 years. But no product's probably meant to have that sort of shelf life. And God knows how much of a shelf life it's had before we brought it in. It's like when you go to a craft store, even to a reject shop, you don't know how long the product's been around before you go and purchase it. I'll keep that scrap for something else. So yeah, that's the only downside I find of my washi collection, and some of my other things I use in art, like paints and glues and adhesives, if they get forgotten about, or even pens. I've killed so many pens over the few years that I've been crafting because they get packed up in a box when I shift house, or they get forgotten about, or they get put aside in a box when I pack up my desk because I need the table for something else. And then you go to use them again 6 months, 12 months down the track, and they're just no good anymore. It's the only complaint I have about craft products. At least you know paper. Paper's a good investment, or die cuts, or not stickers, or stickers or rub-ons, the same sort of shelf life. But you know paper, it will be there in 10 years, 20 years when you go back to use it. Some of these other products won't be. So that's what I'm trying to do this year. I'm having a whinge about products now, aren't I? Whinge about doctors, whinge about products. Trying to group all my stuff together, like put all my washi tapes together, so I will have them there and I will use them. Because I've got several boxes of, like several of those divided clear boxes somewhere with washi in it. One of the boxes I packed up to move house, and I haven't come across them yet. I've got several boxes of craft stuff that I haven't unpacked yet. And I've been here nearly 3 years. Whoops. I just... living in a smaller house and just not having the space to have everything set up properly is really starting to irritate me. I must make an effort to... It's really not going to work. I've got sticky tape there and I don't want sticky tape there. Because I don't want these to stick to something else. I'll just put some more sticky tape over it. I won't take the backing off. So yeah, trying to group all my products together, and then I know what I've got. I think we all do that. We all sort of lose stuff in our stash and then rediscover it a while later. Let's see if I've got a little embellishment to put on the corner of the journaling spot. No. Or maybe just the teapot. No, maybe the teacup. No. Maybe just a couple of numbers going this way. I just want something at the bottom. Most of these are square things that I've cut from paper. Sorry, concentrating, not talking. It's hard, I can't do two things at once. I can't talk and... Actually, that picks up the red that's next door, so we'll stick that on. I can't think and talk at the same time. I admire the YouTubers that do this on a regular basis and talk and craft, because I find it quite hard. I'm usually distracted by TV or distracted by... That bit of sticky tape didn't stick. Distracted by Alexis trying to use up this old roll of sticky tape. It still sticks, but occasionally it peel off a bit and it's not got a sticky back on it. So yeah, usually I tape, and it doesn't matter what gets said in the background or what Alexis says or what the TV says. And then I can take the voice off and that one looks really cool. Take the voice off the video and do a voiceover, and that works out really cool. But I'm trying to do something different this time. Now, does that need anything else? I don't know. I think we'll put the birdie cage more at the bottom, and if it needs a bird, but I think my birds are too big. It would look funny if I put a coloured bird up there, because I don't have any black and white birds. I'm anxious to try live soon. Unfortunately, the rules have just changed with YouTube, and you've got to have 1,000 subbies. We've just cracked 900 for a while. We're going up and down and up and down. I thought, oh, will we ever hit 900? So we've hit 902, I think, the other day, which is really cool. So when we hit 1,000, I might look at doing some lives. I'm a bit hesitant to do them, I suppose, because if I don't like what I say, I can always edit it out doing videos. And the other thing I'm a bit concerned about is with the chat, whether I'll be able to read it on a device. I know a lot of my long-time subbies, I've complained about my vision quite a few times, but I do have low vision, so for me to read something really small, I've got to work out how to set up a phone that I keep picking up and looking at, or I can't really have like a laptop that I can see the chat on, because I'm going to put some tape at the bottom of this one, because I have to have the laptop quite close, and I don't think that'll work with the Surface because it'd get in the way of the camera, and yeah, there's a few things. Or I have to have Miss Alexis read me the questions that you guys write in the live. So that might be quite fun and quite interesting at the same time, having Miss Alexis on the live. Similar to what Tabitha does with hers. Arty Crafty Alchemy, I think she is. She's been doing lives, but unfortunately can't do lives now until she gets 1,000 subbies, which is a bit sad. I used to like tuning into her lives. I'll leave her YouTube video below, so if you're not a subby of hers, she's a fellow Aussie that does some awesome YouTube videos, so go over and give her a sub and let's get her up to 1,000 so she can do her lives again. I promised her when I get to 1,000 I'd join her in the lives. Maybe I said that, and maybe I don't want to do that. What's the worst that could happen in a live? You lose a lot of subbies because people find out what you really like and they decide they don't like you anymore. I just have to word Alexis up and say that she can't swear in the live. Not that she swears on a regular basis, but yeah, sometimes we have our moments and things just go out. Do I like the bird there? Do I want the bird there? Let's just stick the bird there. This one I might use a bit of glue for because he's a bit small to get. Tape on. Why am I turning that tag over when I should be turning my bird over? Oh, come on, hand. You don't have to work for much longer, hand, and I'll give you a break. I was like, even then, going to pull the lid off the glue, it's just an automatic reaction. I pull it off with my left hand. I do a lot with my left hand. And it's just the left hand goes to do it, and then it finally decides it doesn't want to do it. Because it's like, ow, didn't realise it would hurt that much. There we go, there's that one done. And we've got these two to go. And then I think we're going to be up to 45 minutes. Let me have a look. I've got to stand up to have a look at the clock. Oh, we've got 4 minutes to go. Oh, gee, I've been waffling and not doing much. Have I only done? I know I did the brown ones too. How many shades have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's set these up, and I might glue these off camera because... So I like that one, except it needs something down here. What does it need? It needs something. Let's try some of this. Oh, is it going to be too dark? Let me have a look. Do you reckon? Too dark? No, you've got black up there. Okay, let's try some of this on there. Because it's sort of a black and I've got to use it up. And that might be a pain in the butt to get off the back because it's like a sticker. I'm did we have that there? We had that there. I got this from Target like ages ago. It was like $4 for like 3 or 4 meters. And I hadn't used any of it. I also got it in red. It's in the wedding section. I was in Target the other day and they've totally changed around their store. And just totally changed their craft section around. Do I want some on this as well? Yeah, why not? Let's stick some on this while we're at it. Totally, like, got new stuff in, changed the total look at the store. Changed some of their craft stuff to not getting what they used to have, which I suppose you have to change with the times. They never had great stuff anyway. But I used to like a few things I got from there. Because I want that to be like that. And it's not sitting down because it's been rolled up for years and years and years and years. Aha, there we go. Do we need anything else on? I think I do need some little word stickers to go on these, so I might go. I don't know whether I've got any good ones though. I've got all Halloween-y word stickers, and that's not really what I want. I think this needs a bit more colour, so I might stick. Do you reckon? No, I don't know. No, that's a bit bright. That's not the right colour. That's yeah, that's enough of the colour. I think it needs a bit more green. And this will give it just a splash of colour as well. So I think it needs that. How about that? You're probably saying, Melinda, it now looks like a dog's breakfast. Actually, I might bring that up to there. But then we've got a big space up there. What am I going to do with the big space up there? I have no idea. Do I have a small journaling mount I could... Ooh. Do you reckon that goes? Okay, that's going to go. Well, I'll start sticking these down, but... I think I'll do this little one first. I think my video will run out. So if this chops off rather suddenly, you know my time is up. My camera gives me no warning. It just decides to shut off. It will only tape. I'm using an 11-year-old video camera, and it only allows me to tape with my current SD card 45 minutes, which I think is enough time for me to waffle and carry on anyway, because by the time 45 minutes is done, I usually have to have a break from my project, or my body needs a break of sitting, or my voice needs a break of talking. Not sure whether I'm going to tackle the other purple and silver ones tonight. Depends. I might go sit and watch half an hour of TV and see how my hand pulls up from doing this, and then decide whether I want to tackle the other ones or leave it another night. You guys won't know if I leave it another night. What do you put that in an angle? Because why stick it straight when I can stick it crooked on purpose? I do like that bit of die cut stuff on the side. That's really cool, except it's hanging over the top. I might turn this one to a pocket. Where's my punch? Punch! Here we go, punch. Oh, there's a punch.